Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I will be sharing with you what I consider the top natural hair essential items that you should purchase, especially if you're newly natural and you're wondering what items do I need to get my natural hair journey started, or if you're an OG natural like myself. I do still think that this video will be beneficial because I guarantee there possibly would be an item on this list that you don't have that you can add to your repertoire of items. So if you're interested in seeing what I would consider the top natural hair essentials or must-have items, then make sure you keep watching. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I really hope you stick around to watch more videos. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, as well as subscribe to my channel just down below and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified of whenever I post new content. So let's get straight into the video. So I'm not going to list any of the items in any particular order. I'm just going to jump straight in. So the first item I'm going to talk about would be a spray bottle. Every natural definitely needs to have a spray bottle, and I have two different types. So this one I pretty much use for the majority of my natural hair journey. You can change the pressure of the water that comes out. You can have it in a sprout, you can have it in a mist. It's versatile. This one I recently purchased and it is more of a mist. As you can see, if you're going to just refresh your hair, you just want to lightly moisturize it with a little bit of water before you add your products. I would recommend this. If you want to get your hair drenching wet, then I would recommend a spray bottle, more with a nozzle like this that can sprout the water. This is going to take forever for you to get your hair completely wet. But either way, you definitely need a spray bottle. So I use conditioning caps so often. You need them for deep conditioning, whether you're going to do a hot oil treatment or whether you're going to use a deep conditioner or a protein treatment. You definitely need some deep conditioning caps. So I got these ones from Amazon. They're quite flimsy, but they do the job anyways. Or you can use a regular shower cap and just put this on top of your hair when you're deep conditioning. Or if you just don't want to use any of these and you have loads of shopping bags around, you can use that as well, guys. You don't have to go out and purchase things. You can use what you have at home as well. So deep conditioning caps. So the next item will be sectioning clips. So sectioning clips are absolutely essential. I don't think you really appreciate how essential they are until your hair gets a little bit of length and you realize, you know what, working in sections is a life hack. Definitely if you have natural hair, working in sections just makes it so much easier, especially for detangling your hair or even applying product. It really helps to get things done quicker and makes it easier if you section your hair. So I have a couple of different types of section clips. These are the butterfly clips that you see most people have, as you can see here. Or if you don't like those, you can have these crocodile clips. Especially if you have longer hair, I think these would be a bit more convenient to use rather than the butterfly clips. And these are little tiny crocodile clips that I use when I have my wash and go, just for my bang area, to get it out of the way so it doesn't hang into my face and it just dries to the side. Or if you wanted to set your part in a particular place, these are really good for that. So the next essential items I would say would be any hair ties or elastic bands or scrunchies, whatever you like to call them. So I love to use any scrunchies are in satin material because they don't snag your hair. I look out for elastic bands or elastic ties that don't have any metal on them. So I have quite a couple of these and they're all made of satin. You can get these or silk ones. I also have some bubbly ones like this. These are quite stretchable. And of course I love these elastic bands for my puffs. I have so many of these. I can't live without these ones. They're really stretchable. And I just get these from like Wilkinson's or Primark or something. They don't have the metal class like I've mentioned, so it wouldn't snag your hair. Well, there's less chances of snagging your hair, but I really love these. And then I have little ones that I use for banding to stretch my hair when I do wash and goes, just to get a bit more hang time. I love the little ones to do the banding method. The next essential item will be bobby pins. If you don't have bobby pins at home, I really don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I've never met anyone without bobby pins because bobby pins are so notorious for being lost. You tend to buy them over and over again because they're very easily misplaced. I would recommend you go ahead and buy a container to put all of your bobby pins in there. So when you're finished with them, you just pop it back in, close it in, and you have them all safe. These are really essential for if you want to do any pin-up styles, roll tuck and pin styles. If you want to pin some full bangs, I mean the options are endless with bobby pins. So definitely would be a staple, and these are really inexpensive. You can find them at any beauty supply store. So the next item would be an applicator tip bottle, and you really need one of these to add any of your favorite oil mixtures that you use for your scalp massages or for your pre-shampoo treatments, you can go ahead and use or recycle a previous bottle that you have that's similar to this for this purpose, or you can buy a dedicated bottle like this. This one has the measurements so you can see exactly how much of each ingredient you're adding. And I think oil mixtures are really essential for any hair journey because they're really nourishing. They help to give the hair a lot of shine, and there's so many oils out there with amazing benefits, especially in terms of hair growth. So this is definitely something that I would recommend you get. So the next item will be a microfiber towel or turban, and this is really useful after you've washed your hair in the shower. You don't want the water to be dripping down your back, or if you just want to air dry and not use any heat, this is really perfect to just wrap your hair up, keep it out of the way, and it absorbs quite a lot of water. And this is very gentle on the hair rather than using a regular towel that's quite rough and it can cause a lot of friction and breakage on your hair. Microfiber material is really gentle for your curls. The other option, if you don't want to get a microfiber towel, you can just use a regular really soft cotton t-shirt just to wrap your hair up to blot away any excess water when you come out of the shower. That as well you can try. Next up would be detangling tools. So I have two different types of detangling brushes here. I have the Denman brush and then the Tangle Teezer. Pretty much for the beginning of my natural hair journey, I really loved the Denman brush. I mean, this has got me through so many detangling sessions. I tend to love to go ahead and finger detangle first because that's gentler, but then when I really want to thoroughly detangle my hair, I use a detangling tool. Also, it can help to define your curls when you're applying product, especially if you love to do wash and goes. These would be your go-to. Next up would be wide tooth combs. So I have a variety of these. This one has a handle and it basically is a shower comb, so I use this when I'm washing my hair. It can hook onto the shower basically so it doesn't get lost. And then I have another one with a handle, not as wide toothed as this one, but still works quite well. But pick up a wide tooth comb. You don't need to have a variety of them, just pick up any one, and this is quite good as a tool, a detangling tool as well. So the next item would be an Afro pick. I really love this tool. If you want to have volume, if you want to fluff out your styles, then you really need an Afro pick because no other comb is going to do what an Afro pick can do, guaranteed. And I have a variety here because I really love to fluff out my hair and to create height and volume just by going in and just lifting layers in my hair, and the Afro pick is essential for that. Next up would be a soft bristle brush. If you really want to have any slick bun styles or ponytail styles, then a brush is essential. I recommend having one with soft bristles because you really don't want to be harsh on your hair, especially around your hairline. So make sure that the bristles are soft. When you're purchasing it, just make sure the labels say soft. Some people might prefer to actually get a dedicated edge brush. I really don't have one because I just basically am really gentle. These bristles are really soft, so yeah, maybe I'll get one in the future, but definitely any type of soft bristle brush would do. So next up would be your silk or satin bonnets, scarves and pillowcases, and these are all essential for making sure that you protect your hair when you're sleeping. So you don't want to be tossing and turning and your hair is basically rubbing against cotton pillowcases or sheets, because this can lead to snags and therefore breakage. It also sucks out all the moisture that we're really trying to keep in our hair because natural hair is naturally dry. So I have so many bonnets. I really love bonnets. So I have quite a variety of these. These particular ones have a drawstring so you can adjust them to your head. And I have like 3 of these, this particular version. I love the colors, they are so cute. And then I have a regular back one. And it's important, guys, that you switch out your bonnets ever so often, because if the edges of it start to get tattered or torn, then you really need to switch it out and get a new one, because you don't want that to be rubbing against your edges as well and basically taking your edges out. So always replace these as often as required, especially if you see that the threads are loose or it's just getting a bit tattered, because you don't want to pull on your edges. I have the same 2 scarves that I've had from the beginning of my natural hair journey, and I'm 8 years natural this year. So I have this purple one and I have this one here. And this one they're both satin basically. So I love to apply the scarf first to my head, and then I apply one of these bad boys on top. I just like to make sure that my hair is really secure at night. And I find that when I apply a scarf first and just apply that tightly, well not tightly but firmly, this helps to keep my curls in place. If I just go ahead and like put this on top, like my hair is still moving around in this because it's quite roomy. So I like to tie it down first and then I apply this. But you don't need both. Get which one you prefer, honestly. If you're now starting out, just get which one you'll prefer and that'll be a-okay. And if you want to go the extra mile, you can get a scarf dedicated for your edges. If you just want to set your hairstyles in place around your edges, I have 2 scarves for that purpose. And these were really affordable from Amazon. I think like £4.69 or something. If you really don't like the idea of having a satin scarf or a satin bonnet, then go ahead and get yourself a satin or silk pillowcase. I don't have one of these because I just think that, you know what, I'd rather just tie my hair down. But if you don't like the look of it, or you prefer to have a silk pillowcase, or you prefer to just have your hair free, then go ahead and there's a pillowcase option that you can use as well. The next item is the most expensive item that I'm going to list today, and that is a hooded dryer. So I have the Babyliss Pro hooded dryer. This is the portable one. I purchased this from amazon.co.uk. You can pretty much find this on the American Amazon or on the UK version. A hooded dryer is really necessary because not only does it help you on wash day in terms of deep conditioning, it also helps with setting your styles and ensuring that you leave home with your hair completely dry. And this is really important in the colder months when outside is very frosty. You don't want your hair to be frozen and then it can break off and you're losing your length. You really want to make sure that you leave home with your hair completely dry. And to have an even set of heat applied to your hair, a hooded dryer would be the best. If you didn't want to go out and buy a hard hooded dryer, there are loads of dupes on the market. You can have soft bonnet attachment hooded dryers as well. There are different options that you can have, but definitely I would say go out and invest in a hooded dryer because it will change the game. The next item would be a measuring tape. And some people may not actually think that this is essential, but I do think it is. Not that I believe that you should be obsessing over growth, especially if you're newly natural, but I do think it's important to monitor your growth ever so often. I would recommend, let's say every 6 months minimum basically, for you to monitor how much your hair is growing, even for you to ascertain what is the rate of growth, what is normal for you, so that if any particular period of time goes by or you're not retaining as much length, then you can have a look at your regimen and see exactly what are you doing different that is causing you not to retain as much length, and you can make the necessary adjustments. So I do think that a measuring tape is essential just for monitoring your progress and to find out, you know what, is my hair retaining length as it should, or if it isn't, and to find ways of fixing it if you're doing something or if you've added in something new that is causing detrimental effects to your hair growth. The next item would be a shears, so professional shears. I wouldn't recommend you go ahead and do any crazy cutting at home. You should go to a professional stylist. However, the nature of curly hair is that it is prone to have single strand knots or a little bit of tangling. So sometimes you just want to do a little bit of a trim, or you just want to cut out any particular knots, maybe at the ends, very ends of your hair, then you need to have a professional shears. Never ever use any paper cutting scissors on your hair because that's just going to cause split ends, and split ends are just going to go all the way up the hair shaft, and then it's going to lead to breakage, and then it's going to lead to you having to cut more hair off than you would want to. So the next item you probably haven't thought about, and that's a sink strainer. This little item basically helps to prevent any of your hair from going down the drain and clogging it up. That can be really costly in terms of plumbing bills, or you'll end up buying loads of this stuff, which is a Mr. Muscle sink unclogger. So if you want to avoid buying so much of this, I would recommend just getting a sink strainer. Next up would be any kind of head wrap or head turban. For those days when you really and truly don't want to do your hair, you just want to get it out of the way, or perhaps during the colder months when you really and truly don't want your hair to be exposed to the elements, then I recommend going out and getting some kind of head wrap. These ones are from Love Yaya. I'll leave the link in the description below. And they're just some cotton head wraps. I would recommend wearing your silk or satin bonnet underneath this just so the cotton doesn't dry your curls out. But these are just for those bad hair days, or those days when you really and truly don't want to do your hair, or perhaps if you're, you know, in the newer stages of your journey where you're trying out new styles and a style didn't come out as well as you thought it would have, this is a really good go-to option for those days. So the next item is a shower mirror, and this is really handy when you're washing your hair in the shower on wash day because you can actually see exactly what you're doing. It just makes life so much easier. I currently don't have one because my old bathroom did have one right opposite the tub, but my new bathroom doesn't, so I'm looking at purchasing one. Next up will be a hair journal, and this can be a notepad, a notebook. It doesn't need to be anything fancy. I went ahead and purchased a dedicated natural hair journal. This is by Curly Hair Lounge. I'll link it just down below, and this book is really, really good. It starts out by going through your hair profile, doing a hair assessment, and it has a weekly record of exactly what you're doing to your hair on a daily and weekly basis. I really, really love this. So I think this is an essential because pretty much when you look back on your hair journey, you want to see what things worked, what things didn't work, so you can make adjustments, and also to see whether or not you're meeting your hair goals. So if you have a hair goal of, let's say, reaching a particular length within a certain time, if you document that clearly somewhere in a dedicated hair journal, then you'll be able to look back and see, you know what, I am meeting my goals. Also to assess and see what things didn't work well, you know, years later, months later, and you can see, well, these things didn't work well, I'm going to avoid that. Or these things really worked well, my hair is flourishing in this particular time, so maybe I should go back to these particular products or these particular techniques. So documenting is really, really essential. It also doesn't need to be a physical journal. You can do this electronically. There are a number of hair apps out there that you can use. I'll try to think of some and link them just down below. So whatever method you prefer, then go ahead and do that. So guys, we made it to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, then don't forget to give me a massive thumbs up and share this video with your friends and family, especially if you have someone who is now starting out on their hair care journey. I think they'll really, really benefit from this. Also, leave a comment just down below to let me know what items you definitely can't live without on your natural hair journey. Let's get chatting below, and until next time, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!